Hello, losing my voice there. Hello everyone, thank you for joining me here on this another episode of Vegan Police TV. Just twiddling with the microphone and camera there. Yep. So just trying to find. I've got a selfie stick and I've lodged the selfie stick in the side beside the car. And that noise that you hear, I never noticed it before, and someone picked it up the other day. That's the center console in the car that makes the tickets. It's not the car itself. Actually, it is the car itself. So, anyway, digressing after that, because like everyone, like to drive with one hand, only one hand on the wheel and the other hand on the center console. So, what am I talking about today? Now, a couple of people have questioned me about why I don't think that there is a vegan movement. So yes, I thought I'd share my thoughts on that, and this is sort of maybe an insider's critique of it, or something like that, or pointing out the things that are wrong and or challenging, or what is it, challenging within the vegan movement, and what we've got to get past if we actually want to make it a vegan movement. So for those who don't know, or for those who came in late, I'm it wasn't 400 years ago, Father. So, I'm heavily influenced by the things that I say, by Doctor Who, NCIS, brilliant, and the Phantom. So, and it's one of the things with the Phantom comics is that at the start of every Phantom comic was for those who came in late. Now, I like to throw in little references to that every once in a while, and actually going to have a rant about NCIS in a future episode. I think it's the next episode that I'm recording. Just depends if I can keep my mind on the traffic and talk about that. So, just give you an idea into the inner workings of Cameron Blewett. So what was I saying? Yes, for those who came in late, I've been vegan for 20 years, 22 years, or anyway, over 20 years. I've been in Queensland since about 1999 or 98. Wasn't that active in Queensland. I wasn't that active anywhere else, to tell you the truth. I went, when I went vegan, I sort of stuck to myself. Wasn't really that interested in socialising. Yeah, I went through the evangelical stage, but that was more of solo activism, doing stuff myself. It's only when I sort of moved up to Queensland and wanting to become part of a community that I saw the what do you say, the dirty underbelly of veganism, and what's happening behind the scenes that people don't talk about and won't talk about. So yeah, it's the thing. So I mean, got involved in things, started becoming a little bit more active, started a group called Vegan Existence because I got fed up with the the traditional baby steps approach, and what people believe is the welfareist message. So started a group called Vegan Existence. That was a quote unquote abolitionist group, so it was more about animal rights than it was about incremental reform and baby steps, and oh my god, they're making it effortless, just love them, and all that sort of stuff. So started doing that, got a bit, I was so passionate about that it wasn't funny. And then at that time, because I'd been over to the US for the AR conference, I wanted to start one out here, and was sitting down to and had a chat to a person who was a good friend at the time about starting one out here, and that was the reason I went to the US was to see what they did and to try and bring something out here. I think this was before the Animal Activist Forum had started. Animal Activist Forum, that's a completely different kettle of fish. So anyway, and my discussion was sitting down with this person, because this person had already done an event in Queensland that was the first vegan event for Queensland, and as I said, I considered that person a good friend at the time, and that shared my thoughts with them. Because I already started contacting people just to see about, inquire about their willingness to come out to Australia and talk out to Australia and all that sort of stuff. And they've said, these people have said they're willing to do it. I had this discussion with this person about it, and I won't name names, but if you're in Queensland, you're bound to know who it is. And I can remember it as if pure as thing, because I'd done. I think I'd done one of the talks with Vegan Existence and mentioned to this person about doing something similar out here, bringing the AR conference out here, and they've turned around and said, well, no, you need to come under my banner, which is the particular group that she had. Okay, it's a she. That she had at that time, because she was going to do the one and the same. And I said, well, no, it doesn't sound, it shouldn't go that way, because they should be two separate things. Because then if one becomes bigger than the other, then because they're both together, then it's going to be harder to separate them or to move them to different times and all that sort of stuff. And plus, wanting to spread things out all over the year rather than just have it, you've got to be in Queensland for 4 days because there's this festival and there's this AR conference and there's this and there's this. And, I said, it's a thing. We just, use it to start off with, judge what people's things are. And her comments were that, no, you need to do it under my banner. Otherwise it's not going to work. I said, what do you mean it's not going to work? And her words were that, you need a lot of volunteers for this, and plus you won't be able to get anyone to help you because they're going to be helping me with my thing. And at that point in time, I thought, yeah, this is all about ego for people. And, that was a really bitter pill to swallow. It was something that was hard to swallow, because here we are, all these people claiming that they're doing things for the animals, they're doing this for the animals and all that sort of stuff, and preaching, why can't people just get along and all that sort of crap. Yet when push comes to shove, it is about their ego. And fast forward to a couple of years, I have contacted a number of people because I wanted to put on a vegan summit, because I got sick of vegan, what do you call it? Vegan Fest. So things are running through my mind, a gazillion things running through my mind at the moment. Vegan Fest, and because I got sick of all the half-baked vegan festivals that are going on at the moment, that are run by people that just don't understand things, don't have a concept about anything. So anyway, started contacting people, and made some good headway with regards to that. Contacted a local organisation about being part of it. Now this organisation and myself, there's a lot of water under the bridge there. I thought that maybe there'd be time heals all wounds and all that sort of stuff. I'm a bigger person now. I'm willing to not forgive and forget, but acknowledge that was part of the growing process of everyone. These people don't. They've still got their anti-camera vendetta going on, and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, never responded to the emails. I'm not complaining about that. That's fine. You don't want to respond to an email, you don't have to respond to an email. Then lo and behold, all of a sudden, they're creating their own Bris Vegan Fest, and it's really, is this about egos? And the chief offender on that, if you do a who is search on that, the Bris Vegan Fest domain, you'll be able to find out who that offender is. And this person has to be one of the biggest, what would you say, liars, deceits. A lot of these things are raw for me, I'll admit that, because hey, I'm human. I'm not someone that can turn emotions off and all that sort of stuff. This is something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about making veganism the social justice movement that it deserves to be. I don't want veganism to be some token thing where it's a chance for people to blow their egos and push some BS whatever it is that they're doing, and that's where it seems to have been now in Queensland. So, and this is the thing: veganism will not become a movement until people put their egos aside. We see it with Francione all the time. His ego's being damaged by the whatever it is on the that's happening in New Zealand. There's a website or something like that. He's so ticked off about it that he isn't being promoted as a saviour and all that sort of stuff. So he's grumpy about that. His ego's been damaged. Tobes' ego gets damaged every time he writes something and someone challenges him, so he blocks them. And turns around and says, you just don't know. If you had half a brain, you'd understand it. Or what's the line that I love, that it is just something that I think is priceless, that sets about what Tobias Lienhard is. And his line was, I expect you to disagree with me unless you're very intelligent. So, egos of people. So anyway, so what else was that? So yeah, with that, there's no hope in not a snowball's chance in Hades of this becoming a legitimate social justice movement, especially in Australia, while there's egos. I've got an ego. Hey, here I am talking to a freaking camera and putting myself out there on YouTube. I've been blogging about veganism for over 10 years now. And all that sort of stuff. So anyway, this is the thing. It's we need to put it aside. We need to remember that why we became vegan, and what veganism is all about. Veganism isn't about the vegans. Veganism is about the social justice movement for the animals. It's and I'm not talking about the animals as in, oh my god, it's for the animals, so you got to leave me alone. But, we're all human animals. Humans are animals, so it's about everyone. It's about I cut myself off mid-rant there and pushed a button on my remote because I thought, I better turn it on now because I'm coming up to near the end of the clip and just happened to be talking with my hands like I normally do and push the button. So anyway, which was good because it got me off that tangent and caused me to stop and think about what I'm saying at the moment. So veganism, it is a social justice movement. Oh, you're freaking kidding. Taxi drivers, man, gotta love them. So yes, road rage. What was I saying? So social justice movement. It is a social justice movement. It is the not taking part in an oppressive system of exploitation of animals, and this is the exploitation of humans as well. So this is these. I'm not going to say token intersectionalist and token this because, do they know? I mean, there seems to be a bit of a thing now of people branding themselves as intersectionalist because intersectionalism is something that is growing. Please don't think for a moment I'm going to brand myself as that because honestly, I don't have a full understanding of it, and I'm learning as I go along. I may at times flounder. I may at times do things that aren't appropriate. Say things that aren't that. I'm learning, and being a white male in Australia, whilst I can understand, it's the thing. While I can advocate for their oppression to be removed, I can't fully understand it. I don't fully understand the whole, aspects of sexism in the workplace. And, whilst there was a point in time when I did experience it because I worked in a female-dominated industry, so I sort of experienced it from one part, it's not something that I had to live with all the time because I had that job for 8 months or 12 months or something like that. So it's not something that I got to see the whole aspect of it. I am learning with that. But something that happened yesterday that sort of woke my mind up. I went to the shops late at night to get some things that we'd forgotten during the day, and I was sitting in the car park just about to go, and noticed a guy sort of, he crouched down on the ground, and sort of noticed him when I walked in the shops and got the things and came back out again. And so sort of, and then when I came back out, he was still there. So I was, what's he going on? What's he doing? So anyway, I watched a little bit further and paid a little bit more attention to him. And from what I believe, or from what I understand, he was, Muslim, praying to Mecca. And it was, the thing is that here he is out in what was a public area, doing what he does, worshipping his God, and following his beliefs in the way that he chooses to, and yet, there wasn't a place for him to do it, so he had to do it out in, out in the public, sort of out in an area. So, I'm not saying, if you want to do it out there, that's fine. But if it was that was the only spot that he had to do it, then, that really got to me. It's, this is the thing, is that we claim that we live in a modern society and freedoms of this and freedoms of that. I mean, if this guy has to put a piece of cardboard down and to praise his God that he believes in, what does that say for us as a society, and all that sort of stuff? Now, my thoughts on organised religion is that, hey, there's a lot to answer for, and that's all religion. It doesn't matter what it is, and it includes science as well, because that's really all science is. Science is just another religion where you worship to a different altar and worship another god. It's it's a thing, and we've got people that claim that if you're anti this or you're anti that, well, I thought this is what Australia was founded on, about giving people a fair go and all that sort of stuff. And so anyway, tangents. I love my tangents. I should sit down and listen to some of my conversations, have conversation with people, and people that understand my tangents. We can end up anyway. So anyway, digressing a bit more. So, and this is the thing, we need to put egos aside. We need to understand that veganism is bigger than the ego. It's not the sum of all our egos and all that sort of stuff, because the worst thing about veganism is the vegans. I know when I was crowdfunding, because hey, it's the first thing I put on, the crowdfunding thing, all the naysayers came out left, right and centre. We don't know who this person is, we don't know who they are. Well, hey, Google me and you'll be able to find out who I am. Don't trust this person because, they've got no this, they've got no that. Well, you've got to take a leap of faith somewhere along the line. So anyway, the plan is, I'm still going ahead with Vegan Fest. I need to, I'm going to self-fund it, so that, as you can imagine, is a huge challenge within itself. I'm not going to rely on sponsors or anything like that, because it was going to be a very expensive event to put on, especially with the location of where I wanted to do it, pardon me, and all that sort of stuff. So it'll still happen. It'll probably be early next year now, so early 2017. I want to get the Vegan Summit up and running first, so that'll be this year. So I need to pull my finger out my Khyber on that one. So get going on that, and then do Vegan Fest next year and all that sort of stuff. So it is happening, and the idea with Vegan Fest is to make it a world-class event, not some half-baked event where you get speakers that don't know what they're talking about social media activism and all these other keyword shop alarm going off, keywords and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, not going to continue a rant. So no, I didn't say voice command on my GPS. So yes, anyway, that's about it. Thank you for watching. Might end this now before I fly off on different tangents again. So what else? Yep, thank you for watching. Remember, don't fear the vegan police. We're here to help. Bye for now.